prime creator of all that is, we thank you for this day. We thank you for bringing us together and for the progress we are making. There is commitment and love and joy in our hearts that we are here together doing this work. We acknowledge the greatness of the power within our spirit that is you, and we are humbled and honored to know our station. Let it be so, and so it is.
Hello, my name's Ron Vroom, and I'm the old white man talking head for the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. This is for sheriffs and deputies on Oregon, the state, one of the several states, the 33rd state dated 1859. That is a jurisdiction of civil, common law, of original jurisdiction of Article 7 by the Constitution that you included in your oath, allegedly, as we have yet to view the bona fides of any Oregon sheriff on any county. Article 3, Amendment 7 is/R required to provide remedy when a man or woman goes against the state. Exactly. We have that as fact on Oregon since November 2022. www.orsja.org is the repository of the only lawful Jural civilian common law court of record on Oregon. This was sent to me today. SEC versus Jarkissi, 603 U.S. 109, 2024, held it violates the Seventh Amendment for agencies to adjudicate common law claims in their in-house courts. Agencies, accordingly, must repeal any regulations authorizing enforcement proceedings that enable the agency's courts to impose judgments or penalties that can only be obtained via jury trial in Article 3 courts. So then, wow, that is very interesting. So let's examine that a little bit more. The Supreme Court of the United States affirmed the Fifth Circuit's court. The court held that when the SEC seeks civil penalties against a defendant for security fraud, the Seventh Amendment entitles the defendant to a jury trial. The court found that the SEC's anti-fraud provisions replicate common law fraud and thus implicate the Seventh Amendment. The court also concluded that public rights exception to Article 3 jurisdiction did not apply, but the action did not fall within any of the distinctive areas involved. Government prerogatives were a matter made be resolved outside an Article 3 court without a jury. The court did not reach the remaining constitutional issues and affirmed the ruling of the Fifth on the Seventh Amendment ground only. For, or instead of SEC, any government agency may be read. It is a claim. Each Oregon sheriff with the proper bona fides or a de facto that has and is providing bailiff staff to those de facto Article 7 amended courts. Know now, by those courts, you are obligated to and are or have been declared illegal or illegitimate. They are not common law. They are bogus, declared so by the Fifth and SCOTUS, also referred to the Chevron Act. Are you getting the picture? And I yield.
Anthony Devine. We are our sheriffs. For the last several months, we have posted and made available for what we worked on as a proper oath. For the persons in our governance, sheriffs are our first effort at our insisting on a proper oath. For it is the sheriffs who are here in their county position to protect and defend the people. Protect from what? Some might say. From ticketing or sending people to the illegitimate amended Article 7 counts courts that should not be. From governance overreach and taxation that they should assist seniors in the prevention of their eviction from their loss of equity, their forever home, and all they possess. Our Article 3 Amendment 7 Civilian Common Law Court of Record has made numerous visits and relentless communication to our county sheriffs on Oregon to make a remedy from victimization of the people. How, you might ask? It's like a shift in the mind. It is the recognition of one's allegiance to life and that which is God-given. Rather than criminalizing living God-made beings for a dead corporate entity, our sheriffs are our first protection against governance overreach. The significance of elected government officials taking a proper oath to the original jurisdiction Constitution, circa 1859, is a tremendous recognition. The oath, then, is a promise to our God self, to our Creator God, and to people, not persons, such a declaration. Taking a solemn oath is needed for there to be remedy in our authoritative system of governance. Once the sheriff can make the shift, they can see themselves among the people rather than a corporate entity meant to enforce our compliance in the bidding of the state. This cognition promises to be a release of tension, greater freedom, and cooperation. Let it be so. I yield.
Hello, my name's Ron Vroman. I'm the old white man talking head for the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. Natural rights inherent in people. All the men and women and our children on Oregon are in this category. You, me, others, all have unalienable rights. Get a dictionary. I suggest Bouvier Law Dictionary 6th edition, 2 volumes, dated 1856. Some of us expatriate from that jurisdiction and join the military, or take an oath and become a 24/7 Leo. Others take an oath to the Oregon State Bar. Some of us do not and remain in our constitutional state of being, unalienable, sovereign, unique as people since 1776. No others exist. We declare that all men, when they form a social compact, are equal in right. Many read that and move on. Some read that and form a social compact. www.orsja.org. We did that several years ago, only on Oregon. That all power is inherent in the people, obviously. The people on Oregon formed Oregon in 1857, and it was ratified in 1859. That is original jurisdiction, Article 7. Whereas Article 7 amended is not government. It is de facto. There is no evidence to support it. There is no rebuttal to our claim. There are no rebuttals to any of our claims. Talk's cheap. Our provisional government on Oregon and all free governments are founded on their authority, the people's authority. The only ones with the authority are the ones aware of their unalienable rights, the ones that actually did the work and instituted for their peace, safety, and happiness a provisional government. And they have at all times a right to alter, reform, or abolish the government in such manner as they may think proper. That being the case, all of us on Oregon selected Article 4, Section 4, a constitutional Republican form of government, Jural, removing the de facto color of law incorporated for-profit governance. After 115 years of fraud upon the people, we are no longer deceived. And I yield.
Hi, my name is Eric Dover with the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. This is an open letter to the Oregon sheriffs. Where are our sheriffs? For the last several months, we have posted and made available what we worked on as a proper oath for the persons in our governance. Sheriffs are our first effort at our insisting on a proper oath, for it is the sheriffs who are here in their county position to protect and defend the people. Protect from what? You, some might say. From ticketing or sending people to the illegitimate amended Article 7 courts that should not be. From governance overreach and taxation that they should assist seniors in the prevention of their eviction from their loss of equity, their forever home, and all they possess. Our Article 3, Amendment 7 Civilian Common Law Court of Record has made numerous visits and relentless communications to our county sheriffs in Oregon to offer a remedy from the victimization of the people. How, you might ask? It's like a shift in the mind. It is the recognition of one's allegiance to life and that which is God-given, rather than criminalizing living God-made beings for a dead corporate entity. Our sheriffs are our first protection against governance overreach. The significance of elected government officials taking a proper oath to the original jurisdiction Constitution, circa 1859, is a tremendous recognition. The oath, then, is a promise to our God self, to our Creator God, and to people, not persons. Such a dejuration, taking a solemn oath, is needed for there to be a remedy in our authoritative system of governance. Once a sheriff can make the shift, they can see themselves among the people rather than a corporate entity meant to enforce our compliance to the bidding of the state. This cognition promises to be a release of tension, greater freedom, and cooperation. Let it be so.
Hello, my name's Ron Vroman. I'm the old white man talking head for the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. This is going out to our sheriffs. Our sheriffs have to make a decision soon on Article 7 amended, which is the judiciary clause of Oregon's Constitution. In that clause, there's amended and original jurisdiction. You're currently under the amended or color of law or de facto portion of Oregon's Constitution. You know that. You've been told it and you've acquiesced to it. So you know where you are in the jurisdiction. You're in a de facto color of law jurisdiction that has no legitimate or legal standing. That's where the sheriffs are right now today. And I'm talking about the 9 specific ones that we're dealing with in lieu of trying to do 36 at once. So what we have is options. You can remain in that office if you have your proper bona fides. Now, let's suppose that every sheriff and deputy on Oregon is in this situation unbeknownst to them. They had no idea that this was the case. I had no idea this was the case until 2017. I had no idea that MK Ultra was a fact. I was totally convinced of the de facto that I was dealing with. I didn't know. So how is it proper for me to expect all of you to know? You don't. But you have been taught. We have done our work. Recently, SCOTUS and the 5th Court of Appeals, and I sent it to all of you, decided that for any one of the subdivisions of the state, in their case, the SEC, none of them had the authority to try any of us without Amendment 7. Do you get that? Amendment 7 has to be in the game. Now, Amendment 7 is really interesting. The part they were talking about in Amendment 7 that they were passing on their information about was jury, which is of major importance. But let's read all of 7. In suits in common law, the only common law court on Oregon is our civilian common law court of record. $6.75 years. No rebuttals. So we have the court. There is no court coming out of Salem or any courthouse that is a legitimate court on Oregon, according to the 5th Appellate Court and SCOTUS. You have to have Amendment 7. In suits in common law, that's all suits in common law. Look it up in Bouvier, 1856. Look it up anywhere you want. Criminal is part of. Where the value in controversy shall exceed $20. Well, it's worth a whole lot more than $20 to have your due process violated. That's codified in 18 USC 3571 at $250,000 for violating due process of one of us. The right of trial by jury shall be preserved. A jury is 12. Article 7 amended in the very beginning of it reduces the size of a jury to 6. You just can't do those things. But the bar attorneys from the Oregon State Bar, including all of the black-robed ones, think they can. And they can as long as all the sheriffs continue to take an improper oath. And you understand the fraud, and you continue to defraud us. And no fact tried by a jury shall be otherwise re-examined in any court of the United States than according to the rules of the common law. So, even in your de facto oath that I've seen, it states the Constitution. And even if it's this Constitution that has Article 7 amended in it, before you ever get to Article 7 amended, you get to Article 1, Section 1. And that's us. And all power is inherent in us and what we are doing. And that's returning Oregon to an Article 4, Section 4 constitutional Republican form of government. We will have no more color of law out of Salem. So, we're getting really close to a point where the office of sheriff has to be properly filled. It has to comply with ORS 206. It has to comply with county HR, county recorder, DPSST, and oath and bondability to the laws of nature and to nature's God included. All of that is required for the sheriff to do the job of sheriff in the office of sheriff. That's not even getting around to the deputies. And they're all out there enforcing the Oregon revised statutes unlawfully. And you know it. And we have to have it cleaned up. You have to be able to take a proper oath, completely proper. And then you have to be willing to keep it. Or you have to be willing to accept the consequences of, we will have to remove you from office. And I yield.
Number 3. Sheriffs, one and all, the ball is in your court. We kicked it into your jurisdiction, which is separate from ours, alas. It really is one team, you and us. It is, or rather should be, one jurisdiction. Your training, probably from childhood, has been to join the realm of the corporate jurisdiction, which is the entity that pays you to do what you do. You can join our team, that of the people, with a simple turn of a mind switch. A tool to assist in this process is to consider taking a proper oath to the proper Constitution with its original jurisdiction and with the laws of nature and of nature's God, as stated in our unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America. The last several months, we have posted and made publicly available what we consider a proper oath for the persons in our governance. Sheriffs are our first effort at insisting on a proper oath, for it is the sheriffs who are in their county position to protect and defend the people from ticketing or sending people to the illegitimate amended Article 7 courts that should not be, and from government overreach and taxation that takes seniors' equity, their forever home, and all they possess by enforcing convictions. It is like a shift in the mind. It is a recognition of one's allegiance to life and that which is God given, rather than criminalizing living God made beings or a dead corporate entity. Our sheriffs are our first protection against governance overreach and a system of governance overreach. Taking a solemn oath is needed for there to be remedy in our authoritative system of governance. Once a sheriff cognizes the importance of the proper oath, they can see themselves as one of the people, one with the people, rather than a corporate entity meant to enforce our compliance to the bidding of the state. Therein is offered greater freedom, cooperation, and peace in all our dealings. Let it be so. I yield.
They do not want to let go of this. They do not intend on losing here. And we do not intend giving it back to them.
And then the bullets started flying, and then he jumps out of the car, and he's got both his hands up. And he got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, just shoot me then. This is what you want, just shoot me. And they did. They shot him dead. With his hands in the air, and I saw it. I swear to God. He was just walking with his hands in the air. And they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, shot him 3 more times.